Oh, well, I am going to miss this place. That is for sure. But you know what? Content doesn't stop, so I gotta do something here. You guys get the beautiful scenery in the background. Let's talk about more Sweet Baby Inc. and Alyssa Mercante, all these fun things that have been going on in the gaming world while I've been on vacation. Well, what do we got? We got Zao. It's a video game. One I didn't talk about it because I didn't feel that the game was worthy of any sort of attention. But let's talk about it now because the game has officially failed. That Park Place put out a tweet saying the game was boycotted into non-existence. And I sat there and I went, really? Really? There was a boycott for this game? I don't think there was a boycott for this game. I think this game didn't do anything special. I don't think this game was doing anything special. And it fell flat on its face. It was equivalent to like a PlayStation 1 platformer. And what else do you want from it? You know, you had the main actor come out for the game, the voice actor, did a whole rant about it. Why aren't people playing my game? Tried to listen, and then he got shot down. Now, on top of that being a Sweet Baby Inc. title, we've got the Justice League game continuing to just crap on itself, and it's coming out with a lesbian Mr. or Mrs. Freeze. You know, Mr. Freeze, the villain for Batman who cryogenically stasised his wife because she had, was it a neurological disease? She had some sort of disease that was going to kill her, so he froze her and in the process becomes a supervillain. But no, Sweet Baby Inc. has to get their tendrils into it and turn it into lesbian Mrs. Freeze. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous at that point. And now, on top of all of this, this is just stuff that I see going about. We see Alyssa Mercante messaging Vara Dark again, pretty much giving her a veiled threat to keep her name out of her mouth. Alyssa, seriously, that's where we are now, where you sit there and have veiled threats and tell people not to talk about you. What do you think people are going to do? They're going to show the sunlight on this. That's what we're going to do. That's what us YouTubers are doing, is showing the absolute disgraceful situation that you are trying to create out of everyone in this world. Everyone's just trying to have fun. Everyone wants to play a good video game now and again. And honestly, that's where we are. You know what? I'm going to stop here for a minute. Look at this. Look at this. You know, all the people out there, all the journalists tell us to go touch grass. Well, here we are. We're touching grass, and I'm still talking about your guys' sorry ass for game journalism out there in the world. You know, 2 games getting completely suffrage from all of the stuff Sweet Baby Inc. did. You've got what's going on with Alyssa, Kotaku editor. I mean, what more do you want? These things are everything we've been talking about, and it's been unraveling for a long time in the game industry. And I think there's more behind it. A lot of people talk about how BlackRock is taking things over. That's another thing going on. BlackRock taking over some anime company now, where they're going to redo all the anime stuff. What more do you want for these industries? They're changing them for what's called the modern audience, and that modern audience is nowhere to be found. If the modern audience exists, then this game Zao would have succeeded, because that was a game that was specifically designed with the modern audience in line. And where were they? They didn't show up for the game. The game had like 200 people play it. It didn't do well. It really did not do well. And, you know, a lot of people worked on it, and now they're closing shop. You've really got to ask yourself, at what point does Geo Media turn around and close Kotaku? They put out a new ad saying they want a new editor-in-chief to overtake Kotaku. Does that mean Alyssa is out of the job? Not yet. But I got to tell you, when someone shows up for that job, first thing a good manager does is clean house. They get rid of everyone and put in their own people. That's what you see in business right now. That's what you've seen with Microsoft when they sit there and they buy up a company. They either shut the doors and put in their own people, or they put in their own people and lay everyone off. Like, those are the two things of business, and that's where it is now. And so things are not in a good place. The layoffs that we've seen in the industry, they're results of poor decision making, poor narrative design companies pressuring these companies to say it's a social injustice if you don't listen to them. And, you know, at what point do we stop and just take a look around and enjoy the games that we do have? This is why there's a resurgence in retro gaming again. This is why you see a lot of these things all over again into the retro, into games of the past, games of the 90s or the 2000s. All these new games, why do you think there's so many remakes for games right now? They're trying to milk something that they don't have anymore. Yeah, they're trying to milk something they don't have anymore. There's nothing left. There's no new good ideas. So why continue them? Why not stop and just make something new? This is a very busy road, so I'm sorry for all the cuts. I'm just trying to stop all the traffic noise that we get in the background of it. Oh man, make something new. There's nothing going on that's new in the world. You know what? I'm going to cross over. This isn't the best place to be walking, but we're doing it. We're doing it. Now I'm walking into the wind, so hopefully you get something more. This is where you walk against the traffic so you can see them. You know, like the best games I've seen come out this year is probably from Nintendo. They've had, over the last year, they've had the best titles. You know, Super Mario Wonder, I've recently picked it up. I've been playing it on this vacation a little bit here and there when we're sitting in the car playing it with the kid. Super Mario Wonder is a pretty well made Super Mario Brothers, surprisingly enough. Is it a rehash of the same game? Yeah, just a little bit. And that's the other thing we're seeing a lot. We're seeing more sequels. We're not seeing anything really new make something a splash in it. We see the same old kotaku writers that have been in the industry for a very long time. There's a website dedicated to them now that's out there. You're seeing the same idea for games since 2016 now, where it's a narrative design push. It's not working well. That narrative design is not doing anyone any favors, and someone's got to step forward and figure out something new. That's why we have games like Elden Ring. Elden Ring has been probably one of the best games I've played in a decade. And I've said this before. You know, I didn't pick it up because of the cost, but it's worth every penny of it. If that game ever goes on sale, pick it up. If you're not playing Elden Ring, you should be, because I gotta say, it's probably one of the best combat games out there. I know recently we talked about how it needs a pause button, but it doesn't. It does not need a pause button at all. You can put that game down, walk away from it, come back 5 minutes later and pick up where you left off quite easily. You might have a death, but whatever. But it's pathetic where we see the game journalists now, where they want to sit there and tell everyone, oh, you got to keep your mouth shut. You're not allowed to speak ill will of these video games. You need to support these games, even though this game was not made for you. That's probably the worst telling point of it all. These games were not made for you, but you have to support it. Well, the game sucks. Why do I want to support a game? You're taking a turd, you're shining it up, you're trying to turn it into gold, and it's not. You can't force your way to the top, unfortunately. I know that. I've been doing this for God knows how long now. I'm losing track of how long I've been doing the YouTube seed. It takes a lot of grinding this. And I'm on vacation, and I'm trying to do something more. I'm still doing the grind. That's the dedication I have to this trade right now, because I absolutely enjoy just speaking my mind and having people listen. And you know what? I don't get it right all the time. I get it wrong every once in a while, and I accept that. And if you don't like that, well, that's what the dislike button's for. I've become accustomed to just being that person out there. And I see it. The fact that I even made a list of journalists out here in the industry, that's pretty humbling to know that I'm being noticed by some people out there that could just choose to ignore it. I'm not going to go away anytime soon. If anyone, if you like what you see on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix Cindershadow, signing off here for one of the last few videos from Nova Scotia. I'll see you home very soon. Thanks for watching.